For ElectroBIM 2.3.1, we did not add any new real functionality or features in terms of what the software can do for electrical design. The goal is to have it work exactly the same. What we added is improved multi-user support so that when you are sharing a project, when you have a work shared project, got multiple people working on it, that all should work better. Previously, if you were in that situation and anyone had anything checked out, it would lock your calculations and not let them work. If you ran a calculation, no one else could work on the project. And it was very cumbersome to have multiple people working on a project because we were not handling the work sharing notifications well. We've cleaned all of that up so that when you are work sharing, that we will just move beyond that and do as much of the calculations and anything else we can as we can. And then we're going to alert you to that in a much cleaner, more consistent fashion, just once rather than having multiple alerts happening. So I've got here the project that is not work shared. When you run calculate, you get this prompt. It asks you to run the calculation. We added this years ago so that you didn't just immediately run your calculations, just so that because they take a moment. So this way you can just press run calculation and off you go. And that's how it's always worked for the last 10 years. If I switch over to this project is work shared. And now when I run calculate, it prompts us. It says run calculate or run calculate, then sync and relinquish. So it knows that this project is work shared. And when you run that calculation, it's going to check everything that's electrical out. And then you're going to hold that. So if you need to run this because it's a large project over a long period of time, and you just want to put everything back in so other people can work on it, you can just immediately sync and relinquish when you're done. So I'm going to click that. This will run our calculation, update everything, and then give it all back for other people to work on when it is done. We also are going to be much more aware of other people having items checked out. Previously, if someone else had an item checked out, every time we saw one, we would alert you. You'd have to click through all the messages saying this is work checked out, this is checked out. And at the very end, nothing would work. None of the calculations would stick because there were a couple things that were checked out, so we couldn't save anything at all. Now we're much more careful about when we are doing our saves. We make sure that we save the information that we can. And when we can't, you get this alert saying modification conflicts. It's telling you there are things that are not updated because someone else is using those. So we couldn't update them. But we're going to update everything else. We tell you the device. We tell you who has it checked out, and if we know the last time they made that change. So you can see how recently it's been updated and who has the item checked out. Then you can use this information, stand up, walk down the hallway, talk to the other user, say, hey, can you relinquish that stuff so I can finish the calculation? Or I guess in this day and age, jump on Slack or Teams and ping them with a quick message. You as the engineer actually have to go talk to the other people in your company. We can't solve that problem yet, but at least you know who you need to talk to. If you want to know what devices are being used, you can select them. You can run highlight device. It'll show you which device in the project is being used. The last modified, in addition to being displayed in that modification conflicts, is also as a shared parameter on all of your items. So if I scroll down, we have a shared parameter. So you could schedule or just look at this by selecting an item. So we have that last modified value. And that's it. It's really not a whole lot of functionality in terms of anything that you're going to see. If everything's going right, you won't see any changes. And if you have multiple people working on a project, you're just going to get some alerts that are much more useful and helpful than they were in the past.